My name is Jim Copenhaver, and I am the Director of Enterprise Solutions at SPINS here. I'm also the Product Manager for our store-level data initiatives, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. So most of you will know, and if you don't, let me give you a quick primer. There's three general ways out there that manufacturers maintain and get their products in stores. The first way, in fading in popularity just due to the economics of things, is a dedicated sales force. Again, we're going back to the Stone Age. When I was at Kraft, we had about 2,500 employees that fanned the country and called on stores. I actually had a route in southern Georgia for about 6 months as part of my training. And so I had that route of, I think there were 44 stores that I hit. And so every day I was in 8 to 10 stores, and my job was to go in and see that my products were on the shelf. And as you know, the Kraft portfolio is fairly large. I was on the grocery side of the business, so I didn't handle any of the refrigerated, but I had mayonnaise, I had Miracle Whip, I had barbecue sauce, I had salad dressings, etc. And my job was to make sure that our products were represented in the store and to fight for displays and shelf tags and my space on the shelf. The second one, we used to call them brokers. They've now graduated and they call themselves sales agents. So if you didn't want to incur the direct expense of employing those people and keeping them fully employed, you could do kind of renting sales agents. So somebody whose stock and trade is having relationships and going to those stores, and the economic benefit there is you're sharing the burden of putting somebody in a car and driving to a store, doing the work in the store with other non-competitive manufacturers. So for example, when I was with Kraft, we also rep the Pillsbury line of items. And so we were, in effect, the broker for Pillsbury. So while our people on the refrigerated side were in the store checking on our cheese products, primarily Philly cream cheese, Velveeta singles, we would also be going over to the refrigerated dough aisle and checking on the Pillsbury dough. The third type of primary distribution is called DSD, or direct store delivery. So think about carbonated soft drinks, think about salty snacks, think about alcoholic beverages. So in this model, what you have is there's a party that is manufacturing for you and then carting to the store. And if you think about it, soft drinks and old glass bottles are heavy. You know, beer in cans is heavy. And so the DSD model came on the scene. Potato chips, not so much, but just because it had frequent turns and because you wanted the product to be fresh, DSD was the method of choice for that. So in a DSD environment, you have a bottler, you have a local sales agent who's actually putting the product on trucks, taking it to the store, putting it up, and responsible for, did it get on display? Did it have the right price? Is it reflected in the planogram correctly? So what you can use store-level data for is measuring the effectiveness of that sales agent for you in the store, whether it be your dedicated sales rep or the DSD rep. So the way that we generally do that is you can map all the stores that belong to somebody's route, and you can obviously say these are Jim's 44 stores. And so now we can look at the movement through Jim's 44 stores, and we can give him a scorecard and say, hey, Jim achieved this type of movement. He got this level of average pricing. He got this distribution of my products in the stores. And we can compare that to Greg. So Greg's an overachiever. He had 100 stores. And so we can look at Greg's route and say, gee, you know, Greg did better than Jim on movement. He did better than Jim on items. Jim did better on getting distribution. So think about store-level data by tying stores to reps and then knowing what that store movement and conditions were. We can evaluate Jim versus Greg, and we can say that Greg clearly outperformed Jim in this particular period, and he gets the gold star and the bonus, and he can retire on a beach in Mexico somewhere. So now the question becomes, hey, I'm already buying SPINS data. Is this a natural extension to it? Sure. You're already buying categories and channels, and in a lot of cases, you're probably buying key accounts. This is the next step that says, after I understand my world from those dimensions, I now want to understand it at store level, and there are going to be new things that I couldn't see at key account level that now become revealed to me. But in talking to our sales reps, especially the ones who call on newer accounts or smaller accounts, their question to me, which is a very logical question, is, hey, Jim, instead of starting at the top and cascading down, why wouldn't smaller brands use store-level data as their entry point for insights and information? And as I thought about it, I was like, yeah, that's a great idea. I never thought of that before. So the other way to think about this is you may not be buying key account data. You may not be buying channel data. You could start with, hey, I'm $1 million brand and I'm distributed in these places. I'd like to know what my distribution is in fresh time. And I'd like to know how many stores I'm in and what price point I'm getting. So another application courtesy of our sales force and the people who call on those accounts, yes, it would be a perfectly good application to start your journey with SPINS at store level data and then graduate into key accounts and channels. So whether you run this problem from the top down, you're currently buying the information and it's an extension to get more granular, or you're not sure where to start, but you don't necessarily want to start at the macro view of the world, or you don't have the budget to start at the macro view of the world, store level data through SPINS is a good way to get in and do a bite-sized chunk and then graduate from there into more information, more investments, and obviously those would be fueled through growth in your business. So we would like to be on this journey with you, and information and insights. Store level data is one of the pieces that we bring, and we'd love to talk to you further about your particular needs and how store level data through SPINS can help you grow your business.